Hello and welcome along to the video, everybody. So let's get cracking and let's do a game today. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do an old school game that you might recognise if you've been to sort of school fairs and things, where you have to take a metal hoop and you have to guide it around a wire. And if you touch the wire, it buzzes and you have to go back to the start. And I'm going to sort of try and do a scratch version of that. I've had a few ideas in my head on how we're going to do it. So first thing I want to do is I want to have a start button. I don't want to use the green flag as my start button. I want to make a button on the page because the mouse is going to control the thing that you've got to move today. So we don't want the mouse to have to go to the top of the screen and then get down to the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to make a button to click on to start. That's the first thing I'm going to do today. So we know that Scratch, we can add a sprite. We know Scratch has got some buttons in it, and I'm just going to go and grab one of those. Nice round button works for me. Okay, a round button, and I want it to start down here because I would like it to, and let's make it 30%. I want it quite small. Oh, that's 300%. Let's try again. 30. That's the restart button there. Okay. So every time you start, you're going to start here. You have to go through a path to all the way to the other side of the screen, to where the end will be up here. Okay. So I want every time you start, you're going to have your mouse down here. So that's going to be our start button. Okay. Right, so let's do a background next. So my backdrop is going to be really important today because the backdrop is going to provide me with the course that I've got to go through. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to do this as a bitmap because a bitmap might be the best way to do this. So I'm going to convert to a bitmap, and this means I can deal with the pixels, and I can get the paint pot, and I can say, right, I want the background to be purple, and I can just colour it in whole thing purple. Then I can get the rubber, and I should be able to draw out areas that I don't want to be purple. So that bottom square there, where we're going to start off, I want that to be a safe zone. So everything that's left purple is going to be dangerous, but anything that's not purple will be a safe zone. So I'm going to make my rubber a bit bigger because I want my path to be a bit bigger. You can have it to whatever size you wanted, but I want my path to be a bit bigger. Now here's where I can just go a bit freehand, and I can try and do a shape that I think will be tricky for my player to get around. Now you can have whatever shape you like. You can make it just a diagonal path, whatever you want. And then that's going to be my end point. Okay. So I probably need a button at that end as well. So let's make one of those now. Let's duplicate this, move it across. What other costumes have I got? I haven't got any other costumes, so let's colour this in. The end, we're going to go for light blue. There we go. Okay, so we've got a blue button at the end. Up. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a sprite that I can control and move through the maze. I'm going to use Scratch because sometimes he's just there when you want him. So let's make Scratch a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go for 30%. Now when we play this, we will be in full screen. So you'll be able to go like this, and so you'll see a lot clearer. Okay. So we're going to go to here. So I'm going to get a bit of code that just puts Scratch back to there for me. So go to XY. Yep. So when we not when the green flag's clicked. So 1 second, everybody. Bear with me. Oh, hello everybody, I'm back. Right, where was I? Yes, we're going to, not when we click the green flag, we want our button to, so when the green flag is clicked, we want our No, when the button's clicked, so when you click this sprite. So when this sprite is clicked, we're going to have a message that is a new message called start. So this is effectively going to be my start button. Right. When start is broadcast, I would like Scratch to go back to that space. So even if Scratch is over here somewhere, when we click on this button, he's going to come over here. Lovely. Then I would like him to forever do something for me. I'd like him to forever be where the mouse is. So forever, get the forever loop, motion, go to not random position, go to mouse pointer. Okay, so now when I click on this dot, he's following my mouse and I'm able to start moving through the maze. Now already just by testing it, I can see Scratch is probably a little bit too big for this maze. So let's stop that and make him a little smaller. Let's make him 20%. That's a bit easier. And let's click go. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So that's going to work. Right. The next thing I need to do is make it so that when Scratch touches the background colour, he goes back to the start, because the idea is you've got to get all the way to the end without touching the purple at all. So we're going to again use the when I receive start, because we're not going to use the green flag at all on this. We're going to use our broadcast to start everything. So when I receive start, forever if, and you'll notice the background is only one colour, and there is a reason for that. So the reason is, so I can say forever if this character is touching, so that's in the sensing block, and you've got touching colour. Now we haven't used this block so far, so touching colour is a new block, and you can click in the little colour here, so it's pink at the minute, and I can click on this little colour dropper, and I can say, right, I'm going to go and select the purple, so exactly that colour. So if it's touching this colour, then I want it to go back to the start, which is these coordinates here, drop it in. Okay, let's give this a little test. So now we're not using green flag, remember, we're using this button. Okay, we're off. Okay, so I can move along, I'm moving along, it's following my mouse. If I touch the purple, it goes back to the start. Okay, and then I can go and pick him up again. Oh no, I found a little cheat there, look, because he's popping back to my mouse. So how do we stop that? How do I stop him from going back to my mouse pointer? So instead of going back to the start, let's stop everything. So if you, I'll tell you what, no, I'll tell you what, I will make him go back to the start, and then I will stop everything. So it's clear that you've touched the side, but your game has stopped. So you've got to go and click the button again to restart. So click the button, off we go, moving along, touch the purple, but now look, he's not following my mouse, and we can click the button and start again. Okay, so obviously the aim of the game is for me to get all the way through this maze without touching the side. Okay, I'm going to have to really concentrate. I've made quite a tricky first level here. No. If I got all the way to the end, I then want it to do something. So we've got a little bit more code to do. Let's go, actually let's do it all on Scratch to see how much code we can get into one place. So we're going to have another when I receive start, forever if. So when I receive start, forever if, and then this time we're going to be looking to see, are they touching the blue endpoint? So sensing, touching, not mouse pointer, I want sprite, or button 2 it's called. So if we're ever touching button 2, then we could say, well done. Where are we? As it looks, isn't it? We could say, well done. Like so. Okay, now I'm going to need to try and test this, so I'm going to have to try and win at my own game. So I'm going to need to really concentrate on this next bit. Okay, so are we ready? Go full screen, click on the green button and really concentrate. Okay, so test of my mouse skills. Oh no, got to have a steady hand for this, you see. Now obviously if you're finding it too hard, what you could do, you could make the background easier, which I might do, or you could make Scratch smaller. Now he's pretty small to begin with, or he's pretty small on mine. I'm going to make sure his whiskers don't touch the side. It is entirely up to you about how you want to make this game. How hard do you want it to be? Because some of the sideways sections are pretty scary. Ooh, squeeze it through. Okay, come on. Oh, it's tense now, that last bit. Got to stretch my hand. Okay. Can do this last bit. Come on. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so that's the game and that works. But what we can do, because this is a nice simple game, is we can actually have multiple levels. So if I go to my backdrop, as long as I use the same colour purple, so I want to see, can I find that same colour purple? If I paint a new backdrop, right, and I want to use that purple there, how do I get that same purple again? I've got the blue, I don't want the blue. If I use this colour picker, can I go and pick on that purple? The colour picker, I want that purple. Yes, I can. So what I did there was we were in the little colour picker, we had this little pet here, we're going to use that, grab the colour we want, go to backdrop 2, and now I can fill this in. Hopefully. Oh, it needs to be a bitmap, of course. There we go. Right, now, the only thing that you need to make sure that you do is have your bottom corner and your top corner clear. So again, I'm going to get my rubber out. Got my rubber, I'm going to make my bottom corner, the start bit clear, and my top corner clear. And then you can have whatever path you wanted. So you could be really mean and you could go up and down, or you could do little steps, or whatever you wanted, really. So that could be another level. We could do another one. So again, I'm going to convert to bitmap, fill in the background, rub out the bottom corner, rub out the top corner, and I could just do a straight diagonal, well, a wibbly wobbly diagonal, all the way to the top. That might be very hard, not sure. I could do like a little rest area in the middle, so if you get to the middle, you can have a little rest in this area. Nice. Okay, so I've got 3 backdrops. I could do as many as I wanted. So I'm going to go into the code of button 2, no, Scratch now, because when Scratch gets to the button and says well done, then what I want him to do is I want him to go back to the start. So that's this coordinate here. And I want to change the backdrop to the next backdrop, which is here. So if I click go on this level and move my way through, well, it's not too bad actually. I thought it was going to be very difficult. Have a little rest and go on. And well done. He should go back to the start, but he hasn't. But it did change backdrop, so I need to work on something. Something's not worked. He hasn't gone back to the start, so that's interesting. I think he's still trying to follow the mouse. So we need him to stop when he receives, when he gets to the end. Yeah, okay, so let's put a stop all in there. So you've got to re-click the button. Okay. I am going to do a little cheat to get to an easy level. Well done. Okay, you see he's gone back to the start and I have to click the button to go to the next level. So I'm going to click the button to start the next level and we're off. Here we go. And well done. Next level, he's gone back to the start. And now if I run to the side, let's just make sure that's still working. Yep, he goes back to the start. Okay, as I say, you can have lots of different backgrounds of this game. All you've got to do is make sure you use the same colour each time, and it will work. Okay, one more thing I reckon we can do to this game is we could add a timer into it. So let's do a timer. For that, I'm going to need a variable because my timer is going to be controlled by the variable. So let's go variables, make a variable, which I'm going to call time. So it's like a speed run now. We're going to see how quickly we can do it. So when you receive start, set the time to 0. Then, actually, let's do this on a different loop. Just keep it separate for a minute. So when I receive time to 0, then I want you to forever wait 1 second and then increase time by 1. So change time by 1, so every second it will go up by 1, so it's counting in seconds. And then stop alls should do it. I think that will work. Let's test it. So click on the green button, it should start counting in time. It hasn't. Okay, something wrong there. When I receive start, when this button's clicked, broadcast start. Okay, set time to 0, forever, wait 1 second, change my variable. I've done it again, change time by 1. Okay, cool. Clicking on the green button, not the green flag, looking at the timer, and it's going up. And then when I hit the side, it stops. So it took me 5 seconds to get there, but when I restart, awesome. So I now got a timer and I can race to see how quickly it takes me to complete the level, or not. Okay, well, that's the hardest level. Okay, so this is a pretty complete game, but obviously you could then keep your own high scores about how quickly you can do each level. See if you can beat each other's scores. You could have a different colour background as long as you didn't change it between your levels. There you go. As long as you didn't change it between your levels, you could have whatever background you wanted. Let's just check the clock works when I get to the end. That one was quite easy in the end, wasn't it? Okay. Click the green flag and it goes back to 0. Green button, sorry. Click the green button. Click the green button. Okay. Let's try and actually get to the end this time instead of rushing. Oh, that was me rushing. Let's go again. Can have that steady hand, gotta have the patience. 5 seconds, can I get under 10? No, I can't. There you go, 12 seconds and it stopped. Oh, it carried on. Why did it carry on? Interesting. Oh, I know why it carried on. It carried on because it says well done for 2 seconds. And then it goes back to the start, and then it says next battle, and then it stops all. So, can I put an extra broadcast in here? Don't know that I can. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that as it is, and you'll have to have an extra couple of seconds before the clock stops. But that's okay, that will work. Right, so that's our code. Most of it is on Scratch. If you have a go at this and you hand it in, that'd be great. I'd love to see it. I'll give you a bit of feedback if you've done it. Try out different things. You can use different sprites, you can use different colours, you can see what you can do, play around with it, but that's the idea for the game. Alright guys, I hope you're looking after yourselves and I hope to see you again soon. Bye everybody.